art, it's art, it's art, it's art, it's art. It's time for art! Hi, everybody. My name is Miss Howell, and I am an art teacher with Houston ISD. And you and I are going to get to spend the next 30 minutes or so together making art and learning about art. Let's get started. First things first. I'm going to do art with some materials that you might not have at your house. And you know what? That's okay. You can do the best you can with whatever you have, or you can just watch and then later, if you get some of the materials, maybe you'll remember what we did together. Either way, I hope you have a good time and you learn something about art. Second thing second, this lesson is made for pre-K through second grade, but really anybody can do it. Anybody who's young at heart or a lifelong learner or who loves art will be able to participate and have a good time. Go get your stuff, go get your stuff, go get your stuff. Go get your stuff, go get your stuff, go get your stuff. Hi, everybody. Hi. So glad to see you. And you, and you. And look at you. So happy to see all of you. Guess what we're going to do today? We're going to go on a field trip. Together. We're going to go on a field trip together. But we have to go very far away. Very far. We have to go to New Zealand. New Zealand is pretty much on the other side of the world from Houston. We have to go. We have to go. And we have to go today. So, we're going to have to take our jetpacks. We're going to have to take our jetpacks. Are you ready? Are you with me? All right. Let's do it. Let's put on our jetpacks. Jetpacks go on like a backpack, right? So, arm through here. Pull that strap up. Okay, this arm goes through there. Okay, pull that strap on. Okay, and then it buckles in the middle for safety, right? You don't want to fall out of your jetpack. That would be scary. Okay, so we're going to buckle together. Okay, make sure you need to pull your straps a little tighter. Does it feel good? Feels good? Feels okay? All right. All right. Everybody ready to go? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to go. Give me another thumbs up if your friends are ready to go. All right. Let's go. Push the go button. Make sure you stay with me. It's just like any kind of field trip. You got to stay with me. Don't get lost. All right, we're going to go up, straight up into the air. Here we go. That was fast. Look how little the houses are. And my school is so tiny. Oh my goodness. I see my friends at the park. I'm waving at them. Hello, friends. But I don't think they can see me. All right, here we are at my school. We're going to go up one more time so we can see the whole city of Houston. Did you see your house? Are we flying over the top of your house right now? I'll bet we are. We're looking at Houston. All of those little white lines, those are the roads we drive on every day with so much traffic in Houston. Let's go up a little farther. Houston is inside of Texas. Let's get a good look at Texas. There's Texas. Houston's down in the corner, kind of next to the part of the Gulf of Mexico. And Texas is very big. It's almost the biggest state in the United States. Let's go further. Let's see all the states. Oh my goodness, there they are. I can even see Alaska way up on top over here. Do you see Alaska? There it is. It's a state too. The United States are a whole bunch of different states that make up this big shape right here. And the United States is part of North America. Let's go up a little farther. There's North America. This whole part is North America right here. It's Canada, the United States, and Mexico, North America. And what planet do we live on? Earth. And I spy Earth. Can you see why people call it the giant blue marble? I think it looks like a blue marble, doesn't it? Okay, we're about to go down. Stay with me, nobody get lost. Here we go. We're going to another continent called Australia. There's Australia. You see any kangaroos down there, mate? All right, now we're going next to Australia to New Zealand. There it is. And there's so many things to do in New Zealand. We can go to a cave that has some blue glowworms that really are the little caterpillar larvae from this bug. We can go to some waterfalls, and we can see how the water in the river goes from the high part to the low part, and the white water is all swirly and whirly. And we can look around and check things out because it's beautiful. Or we can go to a glacier, which is like a river, but instead of water, it's ice. Very slowly moving rivers of ice are called glaciers. And when the ice and snow from the mountains and the glaciers melts, it makes lakes. And we could visit some lakes. I don't know if you know this, but New Zealand is a bunch of volcanoes underneath. It was built by volcanoes. And so there is hot, molten magma underneath the ground that's heating up water and making these steam channels come up. And sometimes the water squirts up through the air. It's called a geyser. So it's thermal. And that pool of water right there would be warm like bath water. So we could play in the geysers in the bath water. Or we could go to a different beach that has these giant boulders, these huge rocks that are billions of years old. And what's cool is they're underneath the earth and they are round. They're round. They're gigantic and round. That boulder is about as big as you are. And you can stand next to them and look at them. And what's happening is slowly the water and the waves and the ocean are wearing away the rock around these boulders. And it's exposing them a little at a time. They're amazing. But I can't wait to take you somewhere else. All right, here we go. We're going to go on a hike. We're going to go into the forest. New Zealand has a lot of forests. And we're going to go on a hike next to the Maori River in the blue pools. Here we go. Let's go hiking. When we're in the forest, you don't need your jetpack on. Turn your jetpack off. Stand up, push in your chair, and walk in place. Hike. Hike with me. Hike just means walking. We're going to walk around inside of this forest. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous in here. It's nice and cool, and it smells good. There's a nice path to walk on. Let's see what we can see. It's beautiful. Oh, there's some people. Hello, big, beautiful trees. So beautiful. I noticed something over here. Let's take a look. Hey, I see a fern. Look at that fern right there. That plant is called a fern. And I see a lot of ferns in this forest. Do you see a lot of ferns in the forest? Ferns are not trees, they're plants that grow on the ground, and they like to grow where it's shady and warm and moist, where there's a lot of water in the air. And look, they grow in little clumps like this. And I have something else to show you. I want to show you what a baby fern looks like. Oh, isn't it just the cutest little baby fern? As it grows, it unrolls and straightens out until it looks like this. Let's draw a baby fern. It grows up from the ground where the rest of the plant is. It comes up and it's all spiraled up before it unrolls and gets flat. That's a baby fern, or a koru. A koru. Koru is a special New Zealand word for a baby fern. Time to head out. Jetpack's back on. We're here to learn about New Zealand's indigenous people. That means they were the first ones there, called the Maori. The Maori. Let's go inside. This is an example of a Maori building where you would have ceremonies. Look at those interesting carvings and shapes. Do you recognize any animals or faces or people? Here's the inside. Look at those beautiful designs and all of those carvings. That is amazing. Here are some more carvings next to the building. I'm starting to recognize some faces. Even though those faces look a little bit like animals, those are people. Those are chiefs. Do you know how I know? Because that green thing in their hands is something that's given to the chiefs of the Maori people. It's called a mere, and people pass them down from generation to generation. This tool was used for fighting, and it was made out of something called greenstone, which is a type of jade. Here's some more carvings. Look at this spiral right here. What does that spiral remind you of? Does it remind you of the baby ferns? Yes! Here's another place where we can learn about the Maori people. Look at the interesting and beautiful tattoos on her chin. And look at her forehead. Do you recognize that spiral again? That's because the spiral is very important to the Maori people. If I show you this picture of Maori tattoos, and this picture of a Maori tool, you might start thinking of a certain movie about a certain princess who grows up on an island and who keeps needing to travel to other islands. What movie is that? So that movie is probably based on a group of people that lived on those South Pacific islands around New Zealand, Samoa, Fiji, Tonga. So it's all kind of woven up in the history of these places and these people. Way back before there were grocery stores, and you couldn't go to Home Depot to buy the stuff you needed to build a house. And you couldn't go to Walmart to buy a shirt. You had to make everything yourself. These are examples of things that the Maori people would wear and houses that they would make, and also some beautiful art. Here is a long boat that the Maori people would use when they're traveling around. If we had one of those boats, we might be able to paddle to Samoa. Samoa is another group of islands that's near to New Zealand. Also near Samoa is Fiji. Fiji is also around New Zealand. So is Tonga. Do you see Tonga down there? There are lots and lots of little volcanic islands all over in the South Pacific. Are you ready to go home? Let's go. Woo! I told you it was going to be a fast trip. All right, let's land and get those jetpacks off. I'll see you inside. Do you remember the baby fern that we drew? The koru? The koru is that baby fern that in Maori tradition signifies new life. Let's see if we can do something else with this picture to make it look more interesting and more like a carving. Lots of the carvings that the Maori people do have a lot of lines on them. So let's go right next to the first line that we drew, and let's draw a second line that copies the first line. Can you try to stay about the same distance away from your first line and your second line? It's not easy. See if you can do it. And then get closer, 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 closer at the end like that. Now it kind of really looks like a fern, right? We can color this part green, and that will be our fern, our baby fern, or our koru. Good job. Let's make another line. Right here, I'm going to make another line that's going to start another koru. This one's going like this. And then I'm going to draw a second line right here next to it to make the baby. Swirls are pretty fun. I think I'm going to cover my whole paper with as many swirls as I can. Some of my swirls are going to be tiny swirls, like this one. And some of my swirls are going to be these big ones like this. Let's do it. I'll put on some music and let's draw some swirls. This music doesn't have anything to do with the Maori people. It's just new music. It's modern music that I kind of like and kind of reminded me of circles. What do you think? Okay, I have all my swirlies and my whirlies. Now it's time to decorate. So, one thing I could do is use different colors of green to color each one of my korus. I could do that. Another thing I could do is I could color all the korus green, and I could color maybe brown or another foresty kind of color behind it, because remember, they grow on the ground, not up in the sky, right? So we wouldn't really color blue behind it. Another thing I could do is color it whatever color I want and just pretend like it's a rainbow unicorn fern or something special. Another thing I could do that I think I'm going to do is I'm going to add different patterns to each koru and then color it green. So for instance, this one right here is going to be my Polka Dot Koru. So I'm just going to add polka dots all over, just random spots. You get to decide what you want to do. You do your own thing, okay? That's the fun thing about art, is everybody's art can be different. It's about what is in your soul. Uh-oh, dogs are barking. It's all about what is in your soul and what your brain says, you know what, I think I want to try this. I love that about art. So look, here's all my polka dots inside my koru. And then maybe I'm going to make one that has stripes. I'm going to switch to a skinny, where's my black pen? I'm going to switch to a pencil just because I have a pencil handy, because it's skinnier. My fat marker won't do it. So I'm going to make this one stripes. Can you see those stripes? And then maybe I'm going to make this one triangles. Look at all those triangles. They look kind of like shark teeth. I would call this a shark tooth fern. Let me pick this up so you can see closer. Can you see the triangles and the lines? You decide what kind of patterns you want to do. I'll put some patterns up on the screen just in case you need some inspiration, but you can do whatever you want to do. I'll put on some coloring and designing music. make sure your grown-up sends us a picture and tag us at HISD Fine Art so we can see the work you're doing. I can't wait. Okay, on a scale of this to this, how much fun did you have today? Did you have this much fun? This much fun? This much fun! This much fun! That's how much fun I had with you today. This much fun. So much fun. I can't wait to see you. Have a great week.